At this time, we're coming to the fourth quarter of our program. At this time, we're going to hear eulogistic remarks from Dr. Eugene Lawton, who could not be here today due to procedure he just endured, but he did send a video to share his regards with the family. So at this time, Dr. Eugene Lawton.
I'm asked to make a tribute to my friend, Dr. Jack Evans, by young Jack Jr., and also a tribute by Dr. Richard Barclay. And I'm on my way to the hospital for surgery, trying to fulfill all of these requests. So I'm doing the best I can under these rush circumstances. But I appreciate the privilege to say just a word. Ezekiel 22 and 30, the Bible says, I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me and the land, and I should not destroy it. But I found none. Very sad indeed. When God needed a fearless preacher to challenge the 450 prophets of Baal, he found courageous Elijah. And when God needed a sensitive preacher, he found a weeping prophet by the name of Jeremiah. When God needed a forgiving preacher, he found a prophet by the name of Amos, whose wife played the harlot. When God needed a forerunner preacher, the lead man in a two-man relay race, he found John the Baptist, a voice crying in the wilderness. When God needed a globe-trotting preacher to preach Christ and Him crucified to a cosmopolitan world, he found a tent maker from Tarsus by the name of Paul. But in 1967, when God needed a man to stand in the gap to save Southwestern Christian College, a struggling, unaccredited Christian college in Terrell, Texas, with the forecast that its doors would be closed in 1 year, he found a young preacher by the name of Jack Evans, who became the first African-American president of Southwestern Christian College. God used him to stand in the gap for 50 years as president, as a liberated Moses, whose mission was to offer a holistic educational program that would motivate the students to motivate students to value and achieve academic excellence within the context of commitment to moral and spiritual values. This phenomenal man, with his phenomenal wife, Patricia Evans, traveled nationally, internationally to build Southwestern Christian College. He preached and she sang. For 50 years, he stood in the gap as president, the longest tenure of a college president in American history. A productive educator, a prolific author, a great debater, a mentor to thousands of young people all over America. and a powerful preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ. As he stood in the gap, some 11 or 12 new buildings were erected during his presidential administration. Dormitories for men and women, a new 1,200-seat auditorium, a new dining hall, a new science building, a new gymnasium, etc. His final building to be erected was the Jack and Patricia Evans Foundational Arts Building, to replace the old administration building which was destroyed by fire. And as he stood in the gap, the college was accredited and reaffirmed again and again by the Southern Association of Colleges and Universities. As he stood in the gap, students became successful teachers, lawyers, judges, college professors, gospel preachers, etc. As he stood in the gap, he was the National Crusade for Christ's fearless evangelist, who preached to thousands and baptized thousands into Christ. And finally, as this great soldier stood in the gap, we were friends for some 30 or 40 years and co-workers. I served as academic dean, as he served as president of Southwestern Christian College. We worked together in area-wide gospel meetings, forums to refute false doctrine. Thank God for his uncompromising stand in the proclamation of the gospel of Jesus Christ. On Friday morning, November 1st, a great soldier transition. He fought a good fight. He kept the faith. And on that Friday morning, he finished his course. And henceforth, thank God for the henceforth. Thank God for Dr. Jack Evans.